The collector of names. Nobody in Hollow Vale knew where that old man came from. He appeared one autumn morning and took a seat beneath the dead oak tree in the town square. Every day he sat there with the same black notebook, and every day he wrote a new name. No one paid much attention at first. Travelers passed through Hollowville all the time. But strange things began to happen. The baker forgot the name of his oldest customer. A teacher could no longer remember one of her former students. A woman stared at an old photograph and realized someone was missing. Not physically missing, just gone. No one could remember who they were. As the weeks passed, the disappearance continued. Not people, memories. Entire lives slowly faded away, as though they had never happened. Most people ignored it, but Clara, the town librarian, couldn't. She spent her days surrounded by records and histories. She knew something had been forgotten. And too many things were being forgotten. One evening, as the fog rolled through the streets of Hollowville, Clara decided to follow the old man. He left the town square just after sunset, without a word. He disappeared into the woods beyond the town. Clara followed at a distance. The forest was silent. Only the sound of her footsteps broke the stillness. Then she noticed something strange. Far between the trees, a lantern glowed in the darkness. Its light moved slowly through the fog. Whenever Clara looked directly at it, it seemed to vanish. She told herself it was only her imagination and continued on. Eventually, the old man reached a small cabin hidden among the trees. A single candle burned in the window. Clara waited. Hours passed. At last, the candle went out. Gathering her courage, she approached the cabin and slipped inside. The room was empty. There was no sign of the old man, no bed, no food, no belongings, only a wooden table. And resting upon it was the black notebook. Clara opened it. Hundreds of names filled its pages, page after page. Names written in the same careful handwriting. Some belonged to the people she knew, others belonged to people she couldn't remember. The further she read, the colder the room became, and she reached the final page. At the very bottom, written in fresh black ink, was her own name, Clara. She stared at it in disbelief. Then the notebook snapped shut. The cabin door slammed open. Terrified, Clara ran. She didn't stop until she reached home. The next morning, something felt wrong. The baker smiled politely when she entered the shop, but she didn't know her name. The neighbors looked at her with confusion, as though they had never met. By evening, her photograph had vanished from her family albums. By midnight, her bedroom stood empty. No books, no clothes, no sign that anyone had ever lived there. And by morning, No one in Hollow Vale remembered Clara at all. The old man returned to the oak tree that day. He opened the notebook, turned to a blank page, dipped his pen into black ink, and began writing another name.